From the mountains, the flowers, the children, and the deer, we all love each other. There's a space for everyone in my heart. There's a space for everyone in my heart. There's a home for everyone in my heart.
So everybody, we're going to sing I Like the Roses. How many of you know it? Okay, a lot of people know it. So we're going to begin. Ready? I like the roses. I like the daffodils. I like the mountains. I like the rolling hills. I like the twinkling stars when the sun goes down. Doobity 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 doo. I like the roses. I like the daffodils. I like the mountains. I like the rolling hills. I like the twinkling stars when the sun goes down. Doobity 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 doo. That was great. You're all fantastic. So we're going to sing I Love Nature, and maybe we'll have the kids sing loud and proud so that everyone can hear it, huh? A lot of you know it. Okay. So we're going to get ready to sing this wonderful song. Let's see. I love nature. Nature is cool. The forest is my classroom. The earth is my school. Trees are my teachers. Animals are my friends. And on this school, all life depends. I love nature. Nature is cool. The forest is my classroom. The earth is my school. Trees are my teachers. Animals are my friends. And on this school, all life depends. And on this school, all life depends. You bring a lot of joy to my heart. Thank you so much. Okay, so everybody, we're going to sing breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there's space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free. Everybody stand up to greet our teacher.
The Sangha is invited to come back to our breathing so that our collective energy of mindfulness will bring us together as an organism, as a river, with no more separation. Let the whole Sangha breathe as one body, listen as one body, chant, transcending the boundaries of a delusive self, the authority complex, the inferiority complex, and the equality complex.
From the depths of understanding, con về nương tựa Bụt. Người đưa đường chỉ lối cho con trong cuộc đời. Nam mô Buddhaya. Con về nương tựa Pháp. Con đường của được giác đến sớm ở lòng Bồ Đề. Nam mô Buddhaya. Về đường pháp trong con xin nguyện cho mọi người nắm vững các pháp môn cùng lên đường chuyển hóa. Nam mô Dhammaya. Về nương tăng trong con xin nguyện cho mọi người xây dựng nên bốn chung nhiếp hóa được muôn loài. Nam mô Sanghaya. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam
Good morning, dear Sangha. Today is the 14th of October 2013, and we are in the Deer Park Monastery on our 4th day of the retreat, finding our true home. The other day we have spoken about the four nutriments. And the Buddha always said that nothing can survive without food. In order for our love to continue beautifully, we should learn how to feed our love. And that is an art, how to feed our love so that it will not die or turn to be something else than love. If you have a depression, and if the depression refuses to go away because you keep feeding it, if you know how to stop feeding your suffering, your depression, and then your depression will have to die because of the lack of food. The Buddha said that what has come to be, namely the suffering, what has come to be, if you know how to look deeply into the nature of that and identify the source of food, the source of nutriment that has brought it to you, you are already on the path of emancipation. You can identify the source of nutriment that has been used to feed the pain, the ill being, and then you know you are already on the path of healing. So looking deeply into the pain, into the suffering, into the ill being, we can find the source, the roots of ill being in terms of nutriment. And we know that the Buddhist teaching is based on the Four Noble Truths. And the first one is ill being. Dukkha. Dukkha is the word in Sanskrit. It means ill being. And you may ask, what is so noble about ill being? The first noble truth. The answer is that when you look deeply into ill being and understand ill being, you find a way out. You find a way of transformation and healing. You have to begin with ill being. And looking deeply into the nature of ill being, you will find a second noble truth, which is the way of life that has led to ill being. So it's a kind of path, but the wrong path, the path that leads to ill being. So the second noble truth, the making of ill being. Is what we discover when we look into the nature of ill being. It is described as a path, the way of living, full of wrong perceptions, wrong thinking, wrong speech, wrong action, and so on, that has led to ill being. And then when you have seen the making of ill being, in terms of the path, you can see the other path that goes in the opposite direction. If there is a path leading to ill-being, there should be a path leading to well-being. So the fourth noble truth is just the opposite of the making of ill-being. It is the transformation of ill-being, the end of ill-being, the path leading to the end of ill-being, the path of joy and happiness, the path of healing, the path of joy and happiness. And here you can use the word well-being, the path of well-being. So if you follow the path of ill-being, you get ill-being. And there is another path which is the opposite of this path. And when you see this path, you can at the same time see the opposite path. And that path of well-being, of course, leads to well-being. And well-being means the cessation of ill-being. It's like the absence of darkness means the presence of the light. So in the scripture, the third noble truth is the cessation of ill-being. It means the existence of well-being. So according to the teaching of interbeing that we have learned, if ill-being is there, something else should be there also, and that is well-being. We have learned that in order for the left to be, the right has to be there at the same time. In order for the above to be, the below should be there. So things inter-are. And if we recognize the presence of ill-being, suffering, we have to recognize at the same time the existence of happiness, of well-being. So well-being is possible. It's wonderful to know that well-being is possible, happiness is possible. And if happiness is possible, there should be a way, a path leading to happiness. And that is what we call the noble path, the noble eightfold path. The second is also a path, but it's not so noble. It's, you can call it an ignoble path. And this is a noble path. And the path of well-being begins with right view, right view. Right view is a kind of insight, the kind of deep vision of reality. And sometimes that right view is called the insight of interbeing. Interbeing. It's very deep. The Noble Eightfold Path begins with right view. It means a deep kind of vision, a deep kind of insight. And that is why one day the monk Kaccayana came to ask the Buddha this question. Dear teacher, you often speak of right view. What is exactly right view? Right view can be described in many ways, but that day the Buddha gave a very special definition of right view. He said right view is a kind of insight that transcends the notion of being and non-being. If you are caught in the notion of being, you don't have that insight. If you are caught by the insight of non-being, you don't have that insight either. And this is something possible for us to touch. When we look at a flower, we tend to think that the flower is. The flower belongs to the realm of being. And we believe it to be the truth. The flower is. And the word to be, the verb to be is the verb that we use hundreds of times every day. But we do not understand really the meaning of the word to be. When we look into this flower, we see that this flower is made only of non-flower elements. Like the sunshine is not flower. But without the sunshine, a flower cannot be. You see a cloud is not flower. But without cloud, a flower cannot be. And the rain and the soil, the earth, the minerals, everything in the cosmos have come together in order to help the flower to manifest as a wonder. And we know that the flower cannot be by herself alone. The flower has to interbe with the cloud, the rain, the sunshine, the earth, and so on. So it is impossible to be. It is possible to interbe. So to be is impossible, and to interbe is possible, and that is reality. Unfortunately, the word interbeing is not yet there in a dictionary. So this is kind of meditation that lead us to and help us to learn to think in such a way that we can get closer to the truth. In the verb interbeing, in the verb interbe, there is still the word being. But because of the prefix inter, we transcend the notion of being. Because we know that to be is impossible. To be by yourself is impossible. Man cannot be by themselves alone. Man has to interbe with non-man elements, namely animal, vegetable, and minerals. And if you remove all the non-man element out of man, vanishes. That's teaching on ecology. In order for man to be, you have to protect the being of other species. And the Diamond Sutra to transcend the notion of self. And if we want to remove the notion of self is made only of non-self elements. When I say myself, there's something wrong in it. I imagine that there is a self that can exist independently from the rest of the world. But if I look deeply, I see I am made of parents, ancestors, education, food, civilization, and so on. And if I remove these elements from me, there's no longer any I, any me. So the self, the separate self, is an illusion. And that is why when we look at something, we have to try to see the nature of interbeing in that thing. Before seeing that nature of interbeing, we have not seen it really. When I was a novice, my teacher taught me how to bow to the Buddha. In order to have a true communication with the Buddha, you should see the nature interbeing of the Buddha and your own nature of interbeing. Because usually we think that the Buddha is not you, something on top. That's the way we think. We think in terms of selves. But in fact, a Buddha is made only of non-Buddha elements. Like a lotus flower. She's made of non-lotus elements, including the mud. The Buddha had also suffered, transformed suffering. So when you look at suffering that has been used to make the tea cannot be without a cloud. Reality, to discover the nature of the notion of self as something that can exist independently from the rest. So before you bow to the Buddha, you have to contemplate the nature of interbeing in the Buddha and in you. And my teacher gave me a verse to learn by heart. And I have to breathe in and out with the verse in order to begin to see that nature of interbeing between the Buddha and me before I can bow to him, to the Buddha. The one who bows and the one who is bowed to are both by nature empty. Empty of a self, of separate self. Dear Buddha, I'm going to bow to you, but I know that you are empty of a self. You are made of non-you element, and that is why I can see me in you. If you have not seen that, the bowing will not any kind of communication. You have to bow in the light of interbeing in order for the communication in you and Jesus Christ. Made of non-me elements, and in me there is no complex. I'm not asking the Buddha to give me some Buddhahood, some happiness. Because I have the Buddha nature in me, the capacity to understand, to love, to liberate myself. And that is why the nature, the reality of interbeing is very important. That is the right view. And with right view, we are free from all kind of discrimination. Discrimination between self and no self and other. The lover and the beloved. So in true love, You have to understand the nature of interbeing between you and the person you love. And that is the fourth element of true love, called equanimity. The Chinese non-discrimination, interbeing. And then there is no, her suffering is your suffering. Her happiness is her happiness. And if you say, darling, that's your problem. And that is why in true love, there is no longer any, the path of true love in you, by Buddha. No discrimination. Inclusiveness, that is the word. You don't exclude anyone. Red or black or white or yellow. You don't leave out anyone. The fourth true love is a joy. True love should be able to create joy. It's not true love. If your love is true love. And joy, all discrimination, in order for you, for the other person. Mudita. He. Element of true love is compassion. B. I have been asked to speak about the theme of compassion in Stanford University on the 27th of this month. Studied some people who are expert in neuroscience, and we shall have a discussion about compassion. The coming together between spirituality. Compassion is a kind of energy that has the power to heal and to transform the suffering in you and in the other person. In the person of the beloved, there is also suffering. And true love should have the capacity to transform